I think entertainment and science are different things that feed on each other. And certainly entertainment, a movie like this, can make us more aware of certain subjects. That's good. They can also convey misinformation. But the idea of being more aware of subjects is something that entertainment contributes to.
I hope that the Ronald Emmerich movie about 2012 will have a big impact on everything. If I say something, people will say, we don't believe it. But if you see in a movie a flood coming above the Tibet mountains, and they start wondering, well, could this be true?
So one night, I just on impulse Googled 2012, and fell down this rabbit hole of New Age interpretations and philosophies.
I am very sure that everything that is shown in the movie 2012, like magnetic reversals, tsunamis, earthquakes, and volcanoes bursting out, they will happen in 2012.
The classical Maya were a very sophisticated civilization that developed in Mexico and Guatemala from the 2nd to the 9th century AD, before they mysteriously vanished, leaving behind these extraordinary temple complexes and cities that have been rediscovered over the last 100 years or so.
Every culture has this idea. Every civilization at some point had this idea that when society doesn't function anymore, when things go wrong, that there will be a big flood and some people will get a second chance.
I had this idea to do a modern retelling of Noah's Ark. That was my original idea. And at that time it was not really fully a disaster movie, but then we discovered there's like one theory in the 50s, earth crust displacement, which would lead to a global flood. And that was naturally came with a lot of disaster scenarios. And on top of that, during the writing process, we became aware of the phenomenon called 2012. That a lot of people believe, because the Mayan calendar ends, that there will be the world ending. And we found this so intriguing and interesting, that we kind of used this more or less as the starting point for this story.
Now, we can all be doomsayers and say that the Earth is going to end from any one event. Well, we don't know that. Of course, there's always ways to accommodate this, and we need to learn much more. But that's why it's so ingenious of us in the space exploration field to learn more about these things.
Why are we ignoring the facts that everything will end in 2012? Well, that has to do with the human mind.
It's interesting. It's such a fantastically unimaginable reality that it gets rejected. And so the idea of this great catastrophe coming in our lifetimes, and particularly in our children's lifetimes, it's too scary. So I'm like, let's watch a sitcom.
Well, I am taking 2012 very seriously, and I'm working with a survival group to try to survive this cataclysm. And then one day we'll research it, and everybody will be aware of what will happen in 2012.
And if it's true or whatever could happen, who knows?